important documents. I have a little file box here, and then I've got this thing that says important. So I'm gonna stop my share right now and just say hello. One of the important things about, financial literacy is making sure that you have appropriate documents in place in case something happens to you. Um, Everybody should have a will. If you have, it's not expensive to go and do an online will. Do a will. If something happens to you and you die without a will, it can make it much more complicated for the people you leave behind. Take a look at your will, update it every, say, 5 years, or as your circumstances change. If you get married, if you get divorced, especially if you get divorced, go change your will. um, if you have a child, that is very important to change your will. Name guardians, name a trustee if there's assets. If you have if you have life insurance because you have a child, consider having trust provisions to have to keep those assets in a trust for your child. Again, I'm not giving legal advice. I'm giving sort of general education about seek out appropriate legal advice here. The other important document to have is a healthcare proxy. If you are unable to make healthcare decisions for yourself, appoint someone that you trust. It could be a spouse or partner, it could be a sibling, it could be a close friend. Have a conversation with them about this. Again, also with your will will likely name an executor as well as a trustee. Have a conversation with the people you have in mind about that and say, would you mind doing this for me? Most people consider it to be an honor to be asked that. So have the conversation. It's meaningful. The other thing that goes along with healthcare proxy, advance directive. That is the document that basically that's the pull the plug document. Well, do you want to have the plug pulled or not? Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to stay on the life support. It gets into much more detail, like, do you want to be resuscitated? What types of advanced measures do you want to, keep you alive? And under what circumstances? So in advanced directive, it's tough stuff, but it's important. I've seen things in my life where these types of documents are really important to have. It saves additional heartache. The other thing, if you live in New York State, you can have what's called a springing power of attorney. A power of attorney is kind of the financial side of the healthcare proxy. It allows someone to make financial decisions for you if you are incapacitated. So you can either get a durable power of attorney. If you live somewhere else, you have to do the durable, and that stays in place even if you become incapacitated, but it's also good when you're not incapacitated. What I like about New York is that you can have a springing power of attorney, meaning it springs into action when you are incapacitated. That's when you need it. I don't need one right now, but like if I am in a coma, I need one. So that's on a to-do list. Make sure you execute your documents. Executing your documents means you go and get them signed in front of the notary, and then keep them in a safe, accessible place. Don't put them in a safety deposit box. That little file box right there, have something like that in your home. Put it in a closet. Make sure you tell your person, whether it's your close friend, your family member, the person who is going to be kind of in charge of things if you are not able to be in charge of things. Make sure they know where these things are. The other thing I think it's important to let them know is, make a little inventory of things, of important documents, so they know where to find all the important documents, like your banking, your investments, your insurance policies. Make sure they know what you have. Like, make a little inventory and say, here's where it's all located. Also, if you have valuables, like, things that are either like jewelry or your bicycle or, whatever is important to you, make sure you have a list of that, and make a little schedule of like who you would want that to go to. Or that can also be listed in your will, but a handwritten note sometimes works too. So just, write it down, particularly like with artwork, that can be helpful. to have an inventory of that, and just some intentions about what you would like to happen with the artwork, if when you're gone. Um, and then keep that with your important documents, keep it in your file box, and then also make a list of people to call in case you're unable to call due to incapacity or you've died. And keep that with the important documents. Make sure that your person knows where to find that stuff, so if something happens, they can get a hold of that and they can call the people that need to know.